Hello, everybody.
Hello, we need David's hello.
Yeah, hello. Welcome everybody to a new town hall fireside chat from the European Cardano community. We are very happy to have you here, guys. Today we have a wonderful host. Hey, welcome.
Hi. How is it going,
Hi.
Mark? Good to see you. Who
Yeah,
else is fine?
everything is fine so far. Tomorrow is Friday, and I'm happy.
Oh, yeah.
As usual. That means the Thursday evening is a very good time to make our meetings here, yeah. Every time, yeah.
It's actually the longest day in the week for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Starts at 4 o'clock and ends at 10.
How
or
are you, Logan? How are you, Dylan? And Martin?
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you guys. I'm all good.
Yeah. And this is very interesting. I have another Ricardo Burgos on the line. Hello.
Yeah.
We have the same
How is
name.
How is this possible?
How is it possible?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't give any name. It just I clicked the link which Ricardo sent me. It automatically gave your name, Ricardo.
Oh.
You send your private link.
Okay, that
So,
makes sense.
lessons learned. Do not share.
I just got the link. I
the
wanted to enter
supplements.
my name, but I couldn't enter my name. But hi guys, my name is Adi.
Hi.
Hi, Adi.
Welcome,
Still at
Adi.
my work, but yeah, it's fine.
If
cool.
you want, we can share also the public link and then you can have your name back.
That would be good, but
Yeah.
it's fine for today. I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
Just share the public link here.
You're just a second Ricardo. Yeah, the more the merrier.
Vince.
All right, so all recovered from the summit, or if you had the opportunity to attend to one. Where were you guys? Logan, were you traveling or where were you?
I was not traveling. I went to the Miami event. I'm located in South Florida, so I drove to that one.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, what about you, Dylan?
I think it's not Dylan.
Oh,
You're having the account of your son or so? Could that be Simon? And you're muted.
That's funny. Sorry. It's Simon here, Simon Redfern.
oh, okay, but the name
Dylan and I work in the same company, Intersobi, bank project, but yeah, I used a private link as well, obviously. So
okay.
sorry about that. Dylan should be around actually, but listening in. So.
Okay. What about you, Martin? Did you arrive well in the Netherlands?
Yeah. Was a quick drive, no problem.
Very cool. I wish I would have been in Dubai, to be honest. Yeah, there were so many amazing pictures and videos and things going on. It looks like the community had a lot of fun and that it was pretty well organized. Yeah. So next time, yeah, now Bull Run is ongoing. So
Yeah, let's hope so, because I don't know how you guys can be so sure.
Very good. Okay, shall we proceed then?
Yeah.
Yes. We always start with the mantra. We are part of the global Cardano community, so we start with our version of the global mantra. We do it in several languages to make more confusion and to make a lot of mess every time, so everybody gets confused and we make a lot of mistakes, but we like it a lot. So I will start because the first line is in Italian, and then somebody else will take over with the French part. So, benvenuti all'esperimento.
Les choses peuvent.
Gebra, fehlende Dokumentation.
Differ greatly between iterations.
And now it's you.
Disorient, overload, and inspire.
Great.
Yes.
Next one.
So do we have someone who knows a little bit of Greek in the line? Our goal is something
To provide
a lively environment for you.
I think it's an active, right? It's an active and
it will be active, yes. It should be Afaras or something like that. I don't have my wife next to me, so I can't ask her. My wife is Greek. So.
Okay. For you to explore the highest potential de la colaboración humana, which is to explore the highest potential of human collaboration. Very cool. Thank you so much.
Then we have our own mantra. We have a few points that are only for us in Europe.
But they count for everybody. So just keep your
Yes.
notes up to date, please.
Yeah.
Try to study or learn something new every day. I think that's connecting us. Support and connect with community members for synergy and goals. Applies to everybody here. Be inclusive, friendly, and wise with words, even in anger. And share information without destroying teams, dreams and teams, people, or the reputation.
Very cool. Thank you so much. If you have feedback, if you have something regarding our mantra or ideas, feel free to chime in our Discord or via X. We're always happy to interact with the community in this regards, our values. Yeah.
Great.
Wonderful. The next one would be, you have been in a summit, Ricardo. You have some pictures, right?
Yeah, I was lucky to be able to travel to Düsseldorf. This is a 5 hours drive from the place where I live. And Marcus here, Marcus, you're in the lab still. Yeah, we were there from the Web3 user group, so the charity that we run. Also, Stefan joined us, and Maximilian joined us as well. And we had a blast. Yeah, we had first some nice time at a rooftop bar on the Friday. On Saturday, we had the event starting like at 1:30 p.m. Organized by the guys from IMX. Was really good. We had very good speakers, good mood in the community, a lot of energy. And yeah, on Sunday also we spent some time in the group having a nice breakfast, and then we hit the road again and arrived safely at home. But yeah, it was interesting also to see all those images and impressions from Dubai. I don't know if anyone here in the line was in Dubai. Yeah, but yeah. I hope you had a good time as well.
That's true. And also that we had the pleasure to meet Martin and your twin. I don't know the name right now. Yeah,
you mean Adi and Martin, yeah. Was great. Also,
exactly.
Richard was there. And yeah, I don't know if someone else attended some of the community-driven events. Or in Berlin, no?
There's one this Saturday.
I did.
You did?
I did.
You were in Berlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us a bit about Berlin.
Yeah, it was nice actually. I could share one picture if you want to see that.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I think you need to give me permission or something like that.
Let me stop sharing. So,
how many people roundabout visited Berlin at the summit?
So I don't know, 30 or something
30,
like that,
40?
maybe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so this guy was giving a talk. I don't know if you recognize him. Is his name Matthias? I'm not sure. I'm not so good with names. But he was talking about this Iagon language, which compiles to Bluetooth code for the Cardano. Very, very bright guy, I would say. And yeah, he's doing other stuff as well.
I think he goes to the community by the name Katorsi, right? K-Torsi?
Maybe. I need to find out.
Yeah, K-Torsi, yeah.
There was one other guy. One other guy I met outside. He was showing this thing. I don't quite know what it was actually. It's kind of well, I don't know if you look at 3DK Kiwi XYZ, you might see what it does. But
okay, cool.
Yeah, but this Iagon thing, I've already checked it out. I mean, it's written in Rust, but it's like yeah, he's definitely part of the Cardano. I don't know, something or other. But anyway, yeah, that was good. It was a nice
very
event.
very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I think
And the next one is in Amsterdam this Saturday. I will probably not make it because I'm totally stuck with work.
yeah.
But I think this will be very, very interesting. You have World Mobile in there. Not World Mobile, Empower. And I think some other interesting projects as well that you want to follow up with. Pretty cool.
Markus, do you know what has been planned for Vienna? Because I think that is on the weekend as well.
I have no idea, to be honest. No.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Davide, could you share your screen again?
Yes, this
There were some
nice.
impressions, I think, from the summit in Düsseldorf. And maybe
Yes.
at this point, a shout out to the people from IMX. So Tim and Tim, there are two teams in the team and also their staff. They did a great job organizing, also nice catering, good food, good currywurst. And also on the Saturday, a nice event in the evening in a brewery, very nice place. So shout out to IMX. Thank you very much for hosting the event in Düsseldorf. You can see Mauro here on the top of the world in Dubai, looking very smart. So he's traveling at the moment. So missing you, Mauro. I hope you had a blast and yeah, so many nice impressions and videos. So thank you for representing the European Cardano community also at the summit in Dubai. On the left side, you can see, I think he's from Liquid. I think
Florian from Liquid.
Florian, yeah.
Florian.
A very, very impressive keynote speech. And on the right side, you can see us after the brewery, after having a couple of beers, having fun, and yeah, with our flag, yeah. Was really a great time. Okay.
Yeah.
So next time, we have great projects today. And I see.
Yes, we have. But first, let's repeat that we have spaces in many different European languages. And if you want to host a space in your own language, just let us know. Get in contact with one of the team, and we will make it happen. It would be great to continue. We have spaces in Italian, Spanish, German, of course, and whatever. We will
In Greek
like to
is
expand
incoming,
it.
I think. It looks
In
like.
Greek is incoming, exactly.
And the same is for presenting or speaking here about your projects. Doesn't matter if you're just in the making, in the incubation phase, or if you're already totally on your roadmap, just provide some updates, have a casual talk here. It's about 15 minutes each slot, and we try to keep it tight. Sometimes it's a bit longer, sometimes a bit shorter. But the good thing is here's a very friendly and casual environment, as you see, and we want to keep it like that. We don't have political statements here, unfortunately, because we want to focus it on the business, and there's enough spaces around that you can use to discuss these matters.
Exactly.
Perfect. Yeah.
Great. So today we have many fantastic guests. We have Sustainable Ada. We have Unpopular L. But we'll start today with the Cardano Gaming Community. Spencer, if you want to take it over, you are welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for inviting me here. I haven't done Zoom in a while, so I hope it's all working and everybody can hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So the Cardano gaming community, it was formed about 9 months ago, just from a bunch of other community members and NFT projects on Cardano. There was kind of like that bear market vibe over the last year in NFTs, communities, and Discords kind of dried up when it came to conversation and interaction engagements. And so we really wanted a chance to kind of grasp all that in a big net, try to make sure that we keep the community together while we're going through, you know, one of the worst, you know, bear markets in our NFT history because it's so short. So we tried to do that. You know, we still experience the same thing where, you know, there's just a lot less engagement than there was during the, you know, heights of the bull market. But it's just a fully volunteer run project. We host spaces. We try to bring on NFT projects that maybe don't have the marketing abilities or the, you know, finances, or they're more of a startup and they just need like a, you know, they just need that extra kind of jump start to try to get in front of the community, get their project out. And so that's kind of what the CGC was formed for. It's not necessarily a project, but it's just a community of members, all with different talents. You know, if you're not a part of it, you can join it. Newsletters, there's a developer Discord channel, there's like a hire channel, just a way to kind of keep the community together, because sometimes with so much decentralization, you lose a lot of things that can kind of get slipped through the holes, where like if we had maybe been in better communication, we're working on the same thing, it could have maybe done faster, and we could have maybe done a quid pro quo with developers on certain teams. So just like a way to kind of help build that ship that we can all kind of float on together, but at the same time helping projects that want to help build the Cardano gaming community is kind of what we're all just here to support with. So if you're in a project, or you're a Discord mod, or you have you're a content creator, you're an artist, there's all sorts of things that we can do by bringing those talents together to kind of help, exactly whether you're an individual project, you have other projects you want to help, but just kind of casting that net out and trying to help as many people as we can as we grow this ecosystem to what we want it to be. So that's kind of like the gist of it. We do have a manifesto that you can kind of go read. That's maybe a little bit more descriptive of like what our mission statement is. But it's just a volunteer project really to help the community in any facet possible. My best metaphor is like, if you played League of Legends, you know, we just always play the support role. Every game, we are always in the support role. So what the projects need or what individuals need, we'll try to help, you know, give that to you in any way we can. So our DMs are always open. Our Discord tickets are always open. You want a space to kind of jumpstart or get your project out in front of people, just reach out to us. That's why we're here. That's what we do. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of the CGC.
Awesome.
That's amazing. That's basically what we're trying to do, but with a focus on gaming. This is really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Also for me, that as you know, I'm a game developer myself. This is a very nice link to have both the gaming part and the community part with the Cardano. So I really wanted this event to happen, to have Spencer here, because I think it's very important.
So Spencer, what I would encourage you to create your project in our server so other people can find you. Because I only found out through Davide. That would be cool. And you can
definitely.
And you can go full shill mode in there, right? There's a dedicated space for every project where they can update and talk about everything. And so some members will ask you, hey, what is going on, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is your second home, hopefully, if your relatives allow that.
I'm already in the Web3 space so much, so they kind of already know this is my second home, so it won't be too hard on them already. But yeah, no, I'll definitely check that out. Definitely get in your Discord and get people updated for sure.
Spence, Ricardo here. I would have one question to you as a founder or as one of the persons who had this idea. Could you tell us about yourself, your journey? So what brought you to the crypto space? Was it more from the gaming side? Was it more from, let's say, the tech side? Let us know a bit more about Spence.
Well, I pretty much found out Cardano around like 90 cents, kind of at the beginning of the last bull run. I'd been interested in crypto and started trading. Ethereum didn't catch my eye, just like, you know, the fees, and it just was kind of a gross chain to me. Being new to the space, nothing seemed like, you know, nice and shiny. And then I see Cardano, its ethos, its liquid staking, how it's, you know, it's trying to perform a better layer one than what Ethereum was created on. And being such a new technology, that made the most sense. But it also made a lot of sense that there's going to be a lot of pushback on people trying to pretty much take their share of the space away from, the old school crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum oligarch, I can, call them or whatnot. And so I found Cardano just as being kind of that safe haven, a technology that could really help, provide prosperity and bank people. And I really just bought into that idea of what crypto can do, kind of like what we all started for. And then, I started getting more involved in the communities, meeting more people, being around in spaces, having connections that were kind of outside of crypto with people. That I'm like, oh, we relate on so many things. And then, you know, Cardano is just this other thing that we relate on. And as soon as you kind of immerse yourself in that, you kind of just kind of feel like you found your home in a way. And as you know, Cardano fights a lot about what's right and what's wrong. And, you know, that's perfect for me. I grew up in a family where, you know, if you're not fighting, it's kind of boring, or you're not really helping each other, trying to build each other up, you know, or I kind of get, you know, that's kind of my personality. So I kind of, somebody brought this idea up, and I had already been kind of trying to find a way to help the space. I think like we all do, you know, when you're on a blockchain, it's like if we all are trying to build this towards the same kind of goal. And so I just have been still trying to figure out where I'm best placed in this ecosystem, I guess. And this is one of the places I found. There's still a couple others that I'm wanting, but my history though is I've worked in healthcare. I've seen corporations and big banks and the debt cycle and the debt spiral, and I kind of I just latch on to something that I feel has more worth than anything else that I've worked for over the last 20 years. I'm a millennial. I feel like all of my wealth has been stolen, either from generations, from the federal government, from taxes. I mean, you name it. And so crypto just seemed like an obvious choice on how to, like, I don't know, further my life fastest in the ecosystem. And so I want to be here. I want to build it. And I'm seeing so many other people like you guys that is like inspiring, you know, like, oh, look at all these people from all over the, you know, world. You know, I only have a healthcare background. These people are developers. I barely know HTML and CSS, and I pretty much gave up on that. So yeah, I'm just trying to, you know, I find this place to be probably one of the best blockchains, and I just want to help build it out the best way possible, I guess. A little rambling there, but.
Very
No,
cool.
I totally agree with you, actually. I would say the same about me. So it's the same feelings I got about the community, about what you said regarding the other blockchains and Cardano in specific.
How do you see the development in the last 6 months, maybe 9 months, when it comes to gaming, when it comes to the way NFTs are developing? You know, there have been some changes to the standards, where do you see that Cardano has some advantages, and where do you see that there are some challenges in our ecosystem?
Yeah, the biggest advantage I see is when you really, I mean, I'm not the most technical, but when you look at NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain, it's actually just a link to a URL web page. And so like the actual, I believe it's like the immutable aspect of it's actually on the blockchain in your wallet. And I think there's only about 2 blockchains that do it. I think Algo does it, and I believe Cardano does it. And I think that's very unique to NFTs. And I think that's going to play a big role going forward for people who want real ownership of the art or some other. It's more of an ownership, I think, on Cardano's NFTs. Also with SIP68, a lot of gaming NFTs are able to incorporate level ups, upgrades, customizations to the color of whatever it is, or a new trait that is, you know, upgradable, which you see in games across, you know, everywhere that people want. They want to look cool in the game. And so SIP68 is just a really easy way to put that into Web3. I think that probably the biggest hurdle is just the sentiment. Over the last 9 months in Cardano, I probably have seen less development, more rug pulls, or slow rugs, or they run out of funds, or whatever you want to call it. And so the development has kind of ticked down and down, because I think developers cost more and more. And as ADA's prices went down to 25 cents, projects just literally could not fund themselves anymore. They couldn't be in there full time. Secondary royalties dried up. And so it was just unsustainable. They didn't have the right model. And I think that was a lot of downfall in the Cardano projects kind of across the board, not just gaming, but I think gaming took a big hit there. So I think a disadvantage is it's so new in the ecosystem, and a lot of these startups are just startups, and the bear market was really hard. And so I think you've seen a lot of people leave the ecosystem that were really good community members because of these rug pull events, and said they're never coming back. And I think that's going to be a real disadvantage, because those people are really important. Like these Discord mods that are in all these projects, you know, they do so much for the communities and keeping them intact. And when those people start to bleed out, you're just losing, you know, really quality people. Not that you won't find more, but yeah, I think also Cardano always has that disadvantage of being the ugly redheaded sister of blockchains, because nobody wants Cardano to succeed, because then their bags lose. And I think they're always going to be that big hurdle with Ethereum and Solana and now Ordinals, and you know, there's always going to be that pushback, and I don't know when that breakthrough is going to happen. Maybe it's this bull market, but I think that is kind of a disadvantage too, being over here. It's so new, and people would just want to, you know, get the quick flip, and they see that the volume's not there, so they're not even interested. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a catch-22. You don't get the volume, people don't come, and then it kind of just dwindles all the way down until something kind of snaps. So I'm not sure when that'll happen. Maybe it'll be the next bull market.
Yeah. David, I think question.
Yeah, I wanted just to add something, because I think it's very important. We were talking about the advantages of Cardano compared to other blockchains, and from a game developer, I speak because of my experience. I was in game developing before getting to Cardano. The fact that we have a multi-asset ledger is a fantastic feature, because we can just read the wallets, get NFTs in the wallet without the need to have smart contracts and get into deep in other technologies that are totally different to what developers of video games are already used to. So this is something that really helps a lot. And for game developers, for this reason, Cardano is something that can speed up very much all the development of the games. Just want to add that.
Cool. Some other questions from the participants, maybe. Maybe this is important for me. You know, encourage everybody to feel free to ask questions, and you know, make this as dynamic as possible.
What is the difference between the gaming community and the regular community, would you say? And how would you differentiate even from the NFT community?
I think the nerdy level goes up about 50% compared to other projects, which is fine. You know, nerds are going to rule the world one day. I really believe that. I think blockchain technology might prove that to be true. Compared to other projects, there's a lot less in gaming projects. Generally, there's a lot less drama, I would say. Not always, but generally you don't get the, you know, when you have a gaming project, everybody's there to more have fun because it's a game. When it becomes like more of a PFP project, it's more about floor price maybe and other things that can increase your emotional turmoil in the project. And games are just supposed to be fun. So you kind of get more of a fun crowd compared to like the, oh, you know, somebody's dumb, you know, just the drama that, you know, transpires that you can see in some places.
That's cool. So it seems to be like more of a more genuine.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
cool.
definitely. At NFT XLV, it was nice to meet a lot of them. And it's funny, definitely so many different backgrounds, but there's a common thread of gaming and nerdiness that really can connect so many people just almost instantly. That was really fun going to that event in Vegas.
Cool. Cool.
Right. So, Spence, we're here to help also grow your community, your members. You know, if they want to, you know, expose themselves to Europe, or yeah, we're only Europe related, but I think we're trying now to onboard as many countries as possible. Just feel free, you know, to encourage them to yeah, speak about us and tell them that we're here to help. And yeah, thank you so much for being with us today. We really enjoy the conversation. Thank you for also giving a bit of a glance, what brought you to blockchain. So your personal story, that's always nice to hear. And looking forward, maybe at a later point in time, we can have you again.
And one final thing, we have the links down below in the video, but what is your preferred way to be reached for the community?
The best way to be reached is in the tickets in the Discord. If I get too many DMs in Discord, I read them and then it goes red, and then I come back, I have squirrel brain, and then I forget about it, and 4 days later I look like I didn't respond. So usually tickets is my systematic way to check it off and make sure it's done, close it out, and all that kind of thing. Also, to direct messages on the Twitter always work, especially if we're following one another. If not, just kind of, I don't know, tag me in a post outside of the DMs, and I'll make sure that you guys can get my in those messages. So thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it. We'll definitely be in chats again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to have you soon again.
On to the next one.
Yes, we can still being in the theme and having our friend Elliot that I see in the participants. So he's one of the biggest influencers in the Cardano ecosystem about gaming. Is very strong. He's works for Reflex as well. So you are very welcome. Thank you for being here, El.
No, thank you for letting me come and join along. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the invite, David. Yeah, my name's El. I'm the community manager at Reflect. David might call me an influencer. I think I'm too lazy to be an influencer nowadays. I'm too busy working on Reflect and enjoying that. When you ask me what is Reflect, at the moment we are calling it an engagement platform, but I think that's too menial. Three main focuses is gaming, streaming, and AI. Within gaming, it's creating a platform, being hosts and being a distributor of games on blockchain. Our backbone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, totally. But can we see you too?
I'm so sorry. Where I am at the moment, my location. Oh God, I don't have a webcam, and I'm so underdressed.
So it's a sauna. Sorry.
I wish that was the case. I would probably traumatize some of you. But yeah, apologies.
No worries.
No worries.
Sometimes people forget it.
Yeah, sorry about that. So just to get back into it, so the initial focus is gaming distribution. So we partner with multiple games within the ecosystem. Obviously, our backbone is Cardano, so we are trying to partner with as many gaming projects revolving in Cardano. But in our model, it's to kind of have a wide array. So whether it's Solana, Ethereum, Polygon, there's no kind of bias. We want anybody that has an engaging game that is enjoyable, that cares about consumers, to be distributed through our platform. And where that comes as a benefit to them is, we kind of resolve that issue of them building an entire platform just for one product. So it's having that capability as well of maybe they want to play one game on the platform and they see this other game and they get that excitement and they learn something new and they find a new game. When it goes to streaming, completely creating a brand new streaming platform that also aggregates as well. So you can stream for our platform yourself, but you can also leverage Twitch and Kick and maybe Rumble, maybe not so much Rumble, but the other two for aggregation that then goes through the Reflect platform. The benefits with that is what blockchain allows for creators. If you stream with Twitch or Kick at the moment, you are confined to the centralization of 3 to 5 business days on payout. They can freeze your accounts if they don't like you too much. And where that benefit with blockchain comes in with tips and subscription is just the instance of it. It's all decentralized. You can have the full statistics on where your money has come from, so you can learn more as a creator as well, and understand how to leverage blockchain as a creator to keep growing and enjoying that financial support. And then where the AI comes in, so we have partnered with InWorld. I'm not sure, you might know them. They just had a partnership with Xbox, which was really impressive for us and great to hear. what we do with in-world and also OVO. So with OVO, it's the 3D scanning. We 3D scan, maybe talent, celebrities, streamers, whatever they may be. We 3D scan their entire body. Then we leverage in-world AI to create their personality. We go to them with questionnaires, maybe about their personal life, the way they think, to learn more about them and compose both of those into a 3D composition of that person that could be leveraged within visual experiences, like maybe Virtua, also within the streaming to be, for them to stream for them if they're not live at the current moment, and to have that kind of AI interaction, which is very similar to the way you would interact with them as a person in general. So that's kind of the rundown through the 3 specific parts of Reflect and what we're building at the moment.
Very cool. Nice.
How did you get such a following? I mean, this is crazy.
How did, so
every time when I hear you, it's like cursing around, having fun. But how did you get such a following?
I think a lot of people kind of resonate with that. Cardano at the start was very, tech-based and SPOs and very in-depth conversations that the average consumer needed to kind of research to understand really. And where we came into it was, I love the tech side, to be honest with you. I'm a massive nerd, but I understand from working in sales that a lot of people don't. They need to be taught slowly, they need to catch up. And we kind of had that very pushy, exciting kind of a way to push that across. And, they liked me protecting them. I tried for years now to protect people from getting scammed or maybe falling into traps. And thankfully, as I grew, I eventually ended up getting respect, which then allowed me to have conversations more so with, IOHK and Cardano Foundation and MinSwap and NMaker. And that's, where the actual respectful accreditation as a influencer, I'll say in quotation marks, really came in. Just exciting and burstful first, and then taking a step back and actually providing more value as a participant in this ecosystem.
I think there is also something else. There is approach of Elliot is very different between most of the other people on the internet. He's always present, he's always available. If you have a reply to one post of his, he will get back to you. He will like what you say. He's taking the time to interact with the community. So that I think is something that makes is apart to the rest of the community.
Oh, thank you. And I think that's right. For me, it's all about not pretending that I'm special. And I think everybody should take a note out of that book in this world to not think you're special. I enjoy interacting with people. I'm here because I love it. And for me, every person I speak to and every chance I get to learn more, whoever it is just an amazing benefit for me.
For example,
Sorry.
We have many things in common. So, we are both interested in gaming. We are in Cardano, but he didn't know anything about me when I started interacting with him. But still, I was a small account on Twitter with just a couple of hundred followers, and he was replying to me every time I had a question. So it's something that I never see in anybody else. I thought it's very nice for me.
Yeah, I reply you. I reply every time with my 2 followers.
Of course, Mark.
And excuse my French, but they're a bunch of wankers. Excuse my French. They think they're God's gift. And for me, it's such a pleasure to speak to David and now, be here and have such an amazing conversation. And what Spencer really said earlier about the way that kind of the gaming community is really resonated with me. And I love what he had to say, because the kind of NFT culture and the way that it is at the moment is very, very speculative. And when you have a speculative community, it's very, why are my bags coming up? Why am I not rich yet? What are you doing? You need to work harder. Whereas with that gaming, you are delivering them a consumable product that can actually be used. They are buying a product that they can use in this game that is valuable to them as a user, and not just something where they think, when is this going to be worth more than I bought it for?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate what you said regarding, protecting people. Maybe I can tell a short story of how I got into Cardano. So my nephew, he was running a project, an NFT project, in the middle of the bull market in 2021. And then, yeah, he told me about it. I bought a couple of NFTs. I flipped them, and then suddenly, you know, my money was like double, right? And I thought, okay, this works, yeah. And then I picked some other project, yeah. I just went to the calendar and minted some. And obviously, you know, out of, I don't know, 5,000, only like 10 were minted. And it ended up being like a soft rug pull. I would not say it was a rug pull. And this was like the eye opener, you know. I know I'm a risk management person, right? I always deal with such kind of things, but still, in this FOMO and everything, you know, there has to be some mechanism to protect the community, especially now that the prices are going up. So really appreciate that mindset that you have of protection for the community. This is special, and yeah, thank you for that.
Well, no, thank you, and I think it's one of the most important factors, especially if you want to be somebody who has a loud voice in this ecosystem, is to care about the people that are here. And you know, a lot of founders didn't like me very much, you know, when I started, because my questions may have seemed harsh, but they were only harsh because the consideration was blatant for the consumers that were going to buy. And I'll never, you know, apologize for how harsh my questions are, because the concern behind them is blatant.
Exactly. Yeah. One last question from my side. How do you see this topic of being doxxed or being showing your face, let's say as a founder of an NFT project, as opposed to someone who, let's say, never even mentions his name at least, or you know, say, okay, yeah, who he or she is. Do you have examples of good projects, you know, that where the people are anonymous still, but you say, yeah, they're rock solid?
Yeah, so for me, in terms of doxing, you know, I've bought a lot of projects that have doxed, which have still, you know, robbed me, to say the least. And I've bought projects that are undoxed, which have done the same. For me, it's how long have you been here, and how much validation can I see in your words? And I look at the Ape Society, and I see a project that is predominantly undoxed, besides Valara, I suppose, and I see validation in them doing what they've said on the tin multiple years. But then I also look at the Clays, and I see a completely doxed team, which have also done that validation as well. So I think it's less about, do people know your name and who you are and your face, and more so about, can I see that validation of your words after a time period?
Interesting. Yeah.
And you have already made up your mind regarding the midnight discussion. Are you running a space soon around that? Is that right?
I don't think I'll ever make my mind up, to be honest with you, because it's such a large conversation, and there's so little that we know. You know, people keep saying to me, "El, when are we going to get the tokenomics?" And I say, you know, wait till I pull it out my ass, I suppose. I don't know. You know, God's given gift; He'll give it to me today. But if we don't, we don't. My opinion on Midnight, that I think it's extremely innovative. It's very interesting. I see a lot of plausibility in more kind of Web 2 infrastructure, leveraging Midnight for back-end privacy, with their participation in crypto, whether it's governments, whether it's banks, whether it's data storage, you know, whatever it could be. And privacy is really important for all of those. So I love what it is, but you know, that conspicuency and that consideration of tokenomics, and when's it going to come, and how's it going to be there, I'll find out when I find out. That's how I feel at the moment.
So you're basically waiting and joining the conversation and trying to get a bit more of the sentiment as well. What other people think?
I think, you know, if you watch too many YouTubers, or you listen to too many things about how rich they're going to make, Midnight is going to make you, and how much is going to change the world, you become somebody that is wishing on a dream, and everything that you get presented is lower than your expectations. So I'll watch them, and I'll enjoy them, and I'll sit here, and I'll have my barrier of expectation as I love the tech, and whatever comes with that financially, I'll enjoy either way.
That's a good statement. I love that. Can we have you back at one time, or do you want to join our spaces one time again or so? Or could you promote us like
You can have
crazy?
me back whenever you like. You can have me
Yeah.
back, gentlemen. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Elliot.
Cool.
Amazing.
Because then we need to move on, I think.
Yes, yes.
And yeah.
So, all right. Thank you so much, Ras, for joining us today. Inspired, I understand you had another event which was not on your radar, and you thought it might end up earlier. But nevertheless, thank you so much for being here today and telling us something about Sustainable ADA, a very exciting project that is really making a big impact in this ecosystem. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ricardo, for your kind words. We do our best, and thank you for the invitation. So it's really great to speak with you and sit with you, Marcus and David, and to hear Elliot speak. And I think I caught the tail end of Spencer, I believe. But yeah, I'm at Sciences Po University right now in Paris. There was an event I was invited to attend, hosted by Project Liberty and a number of other groups. And the conversation was around how do we catalyze innovation, responsible innovation, when we talk about AI and Web3. And we had stakeholders from Microsoft, former Twitter, X, the university. And it was really interesting to hear them discuss the different pathways. And I kept thinking to myself, I just came from Dubai, and I've met so many inspiring people that were fortunate enough to be there, included myself. And this talk about impact, like you brought up impact. How do we define impact? What does it look like? How do we measure it? What is happening today when we talk about impact? So we co-founded Cole and I Sustainable ADA because we recognized that at the time, back in 2021, there was a lack of resources in an understandable language that talked about how Cardano and its community members were using this tech to solve real world problems. So that was kind of the impetus for us to propose in Project Catalyst and seek community support to build a platform that could then spotlight the projects around the world. So, we talk about WADA, for instance, and since then, countless others, right? And it culminated in our publication, which some of you may be aware of. I actually have a physical copy here, which I was presenting at the event today. And you really wouldn't believe how many people that, even if they're within the Web3 ecosystem and blockchain and Cardano, are not fully aware of all the projects having a real world impact, solving challenges such as financial inclusion, tackling climate change, deforestation. And these issues are very complex and interconnected. And the more you read about them and watch news, you can feel even cynicism and maybe apathy and like, oh, well, these problems are too big to solve. Like, governments aren't doing enough. Private sector, what are they doing? It's all about profit. How do we reconcile all these different stakeholders and issues so that we're able to have this utopian vision of an equitable and sustainable world? And I still strongly believe that in this Cardano ecosystem and broaden out to Web3, one of the reasons it has attracted people to this space is because we believe there's a way to have a better world, and the tools are here, and we need to align and ally with one another to make it happen. So you having this platform to bring us together to converse and share is part of that. It's like before internet, people would meet up at cafes in Paris and talk about the problems of the day and how to solve them, right? And we're still doing that today, and the problems are still here. So so thank you for hosting me. And yeah, we had a Catalyst proposal funded in the last fund to enable us to support a partner NGO based here in France called Rimba, who have an eco-lodge in Indonesia. So they've been working to tackle deforestation, to uplift the community there. And unbeknownst to them, they weren't aware that tools like blockchain and NFTs and this community not only care about those issues, but have now a means to support and accelerate the efforts on the ground. So we've already begun that project, and we just published an article on our website to kind of announce the partnership and how the collaboration will look with artists locally as well.
Congratulations.
I think, Marcus, you have a very good idea that maybe we can.
that is a cheeky one. We are trying to we're currently asking NFT projects to sponsor an NFT for a raffle, but now you actually have a real asset. If I don't know, I mean, like low productions cost a lot of money for the books. I don't know if that is an option for you to raffle this. You're free to say no, right? You're totally free to say no.
Well, obviously we'll talk more about what your plans are for the raffle, but the mission and the whole point of this publication was to get it into the hands of everyone. So it all means to make that happen is is great to hear,
And how do get people their hands on the book in general?
So on the website we have a page that people can access it in the medium that suits them. So whether it's an NFT for those comfortable with that, or a physical copy, the option's there. So inevitably it's not because of the nature of the space, it's not up to date. So even at the time of publication, things had moved on the projects, and then other use cases have come up. But I think nonetheless, to say that we have 65 plus projects and use cases across the sustainable development goals globally, just in this corner of the ecosystem, is already, we talk about inspiring hope with action. That's what it's all about. So I know not everyone also wants to read 600 plus pages. So, you can kind of dive into the thematics that's appealing to you. If you're looking for DAOs and the use cases of DAOs, or art as activism using NFTs, or environmental impact, there's really something for everyone here.
Cool, very cool. What I was very much impressed with is the way how you approach questions. My first contact with you was during the Catalyst proposal round, or the review round, actually, where I was talking about this. And you cleared up a question by also taking the step back and say, this is not necessarily my meaning, but this is just how it is at the moment. And this is what I really, really appreciated. Why we need people to have a strong opinion about things, so that I, as a unexperienced user or investor or whatever you want to name yourself at that moment, get an idea that I can relate to. At the same time, we need neutral positions to say, okay, this is the state currently, and this is what you can do with it, or make yourself a mind up. And you did the same thing with the way how you voted on projects, and this is what I particularly liked. You set up a very, very thorough thought process, displaying the graphics and saying, okay, this is what I voted for, and the projects I didn't vote for, they're not necessarily bad or whatever. I just didn't have the time for it. And that's a very good and very fair and open and transparent process. And kudos for that.
I appreciate it, Marcus. And maybe as well, like from the outside, not everyone's aware of the capacity amongst teams, like you guys at the European Town Hall, Sustainable ADA, all of us all over the world, different time zones, but we're united by a cause. And I think transparency is kind of at the heart of all of it. Like just at that event I just left, they talked about the need for more transparency with regards to the big tech companies who seem to thrive off black boxes. And if we want governments and users and the public to benefit and understand the benefits for them, we need transparency, and we need dialogue. And so, trying to adopt that same approach with everything we do in the space, community, ecosystem, I think spells integrity. And like going back to what some of you raised around doxing, there's different schools of thought, right, with regards to the spectrum of like crypto anarchism and libertarianism and freedom and how that's expressed. And so if there's a seat at the table for everyone, then everyone gets a means to contribute to the conversation. But depends on what the topic is, right? So if we say we need accountability, but it's a challenge if you're not doxxed, then how do we work our way around that, right? So the tools are all kind of there on the table, and then it's up to us as humans to choose the tools that are right for what we need them for, right? And this book, you know, some people only care, unfortunately, about certain issues when they see a physical book, because if you send them a website link and a PDF, you know, we're all time constrained. But when you're in front of someone, you say, here's a book, and they see the weight of it. And, oh, you put time and effort into this. And maybe there's something within the pages, maybe, you know. And then, you you made the joke about influencers. Like these influencers can be, in my opinion, they're like public servants, right? Civil servants of the new age. They speak about issues they care about. They can serve in protecting people from scams and whatnot. But it can also be a force for bad, right? People who want to, as they say, pump their bags and have a kind of pay me system. So I will speak on things you pay me for. And there's no transparency on that until it's revealed, which sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't. But for the average person, how are you supposed to discern then who's who and what's what? And that goes back to time constraints. And yeah, all of you lot doing very important work, because it's through trusted networks, I believe. You know, if you have a person you trust because you've met them or you've shared something together, and then that's the domino effect. And then working outwards, you have all these nodes of trust, human trust. Then the code can support that. But if you don't understand or read code, what does it mean then? This blockchain is the trust protocol. Like, you know, that's so abstract. It goes back to the human, I think, ultimately.
Yeah, you can't solve everything by technology and math. That's just it. I think we're not prone to, how do you call that? Prone to avoid errors. Is that the right expression? Is it this way? Sorry, I'm not an English native, so that's where we also can make errors. That's
yeah, totally. I mean, that's to be human, to make errors.
So that with that, we always say, whoever is speaking here, it's not an endorsement. If we say something is really cool, then this is our own opinion. But we always say you need to make your own research, as the saying goes. And sometimes even we get blinded by enthusiasm. And
that's true.
Yeah.
Eduardo, I think you have a question to Raz.
Oh, it's a question to Havali. You can share the title of the book or a link to discover, because I really appreciate your thoughts, the things you talking, and share, because I'm interested to know more about your project. Oh, thank you.
I put in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
I think also the printed version is going to make a big impact. Ideally, you know, we would have it in all European languages as well. Because you know, I was at the summit in Düsseldorf, yeah, and in the family chat, then my father-in-law asked, "Okay, what are you doing in Düsseldorf?" And I said, "I'm at the Cardano summit." And then Cardano summit? What is Cardano? What is the summit?
Rabbit hole.
And then I posted a link to Wikipedia, to the Wikipedia German article, you know, but that's, yeah, I mean, it gives a little bit of information, but if you want to show really impact, yeah, and not, you know, just number go up, right, and just investment and make money, and it's not about that, right? I think I compare, when I explain to people, I try to say it's like Linux, you know, the Linux Foundation. It's the idea that a community can create value and make sure that we share what we have in a different transparent way, in a system that encourages accountability. Yeah, the immutability property, I think, is so important. And once the people start grasping that concept of immutability and traceability, then that is, I think, what will convince the people that, yeah, what we're building is really has a purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think, like with what you just said about concepts, so that's super important, because if you start with talking about sovereignty, SSI, digital DIDs, all this stuff, people are like, yeah, like, but why? Like, why are we having these things? What's the point? And just, we had this high level panel discussion, and the why is always there, and the values are always there. And if you don't have the values right, then yeah, you will build things that are all about just enriching the few at the expense of the planet, perhaps, right? So when you zero in on that, then you discover what's the best way to achieve the goals, and then okay, now we can talk about the tools, but the concepts are important, because then without that, the tools.
Can I put a note on that? You know, the Buddhists, I do some meditation and stuff. Sorry to interrupt. And Buddhists say, like, when you're meditating or something, then you start with the intention, right? Yeah, you just start with the intention, and then that's it.
Yeah, I think this timeless tradition, right? So you mentioned Buddhism, and throughout all of recorded human history, this pursuit of why are we here, and what's it all about. So you have questions that swim around your head, right? And that questioning led to everything we see before us. So the intention is always there, whether it's articulated or not. And if you have transparency, maybe then you can get to the intention, perhaps, of why something is built. But yeah, I think talking about mass adoption, and I'm just going to throw that out there, because it was thrown around at the Cardano summit in Dubai. This idea that we want mass adoption of these tools, but how are you going to get everyone to adopt tools if they don't understand how it makes anything better for them? They need to see immediate positive impact. They need to see it's happening in their neighborhood, in their communities, and then they'll naturally think, oh, I want that for me.
Eduardo,
if you permit, maybe to get mass adoption, you don't need to explain everything. See the iPhones. Who knows the inside of a iPhone? No one. The people want to call. And for me, Cardano needs to create sometimes the killer application. Not everybody wants to know what is inside the blockchain. To know that you can trust, and after the register transaction, it's impossible to change. In a certain way, we need to catch the good words for the common people to understand, to use the things. If you see the why the world, it's the result of the climate change and these kind of things, it's very difficult to tell to the people, don't consume what you don't need. But the people consume. I want 20 shoes. Why you want 20 shoes if you only have 2 foods? Because it's bad, because it's bad. When you begin to see the source of pollutions, one of them came from the clothes. How to say the people don't consume, don't buy more. If you don't need, why you need to buy? And even in worldwide, we have a global experience with COVID. With COVID, everybody is staying home, and only the special workers we need, you know. And for me, it's an example how to stop the pollution in the United States when you have these urban cities where everybody needs a car.
Yeah.
It's amazing the way in the United States people live. They have a house hundreds of kilometers far away from the office. For me, if you compare with Europe, where the people walking in the street, where the neighborhood have everything or most of the thing I need, I don't touch in the cars.
Yeah, the 15-minute concept, right? Like if you have everything you need within 15 minutes.
But even before this concept in Lisbon, I'm from Lisbon, we have this concept from centuries.
Exactly.
Maybe wrapping up, Ras, really appreciate you taking the time. And to everybody of you, also raising your voice is so nice, because this is what it's about. Yeah, it's not about Marcus, Davide, myself, Mauro speaking. It's about the people that are really doing the impact, and about you, the community, having to ask the questions, raise your voice. So we really appreciate that you are now, warming up and basically working. We had 1 year where basically it was the three of us speaking sometimes, and I think this is what gives us energy to continue. And thank you so much to everybody. I don't know, maybe Marcus, some closing words, Davide.
Yeah, we will apply for Fund 10. Woo!
11.
11.
11. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that wouldn't work out.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. As we said, we will have some rafts. Razali, is it in your background, the ladies? Then sorry, thank you. Then we will have raffles over the next weeks, as we hope so. So join our fireside chats, and we have some other things in the making. Some of us are working at Intersect as well in the working groups. I think that's also worth mentioning. If this is an interesting thing for you, just join. Currently it's for free. There will be a pricing at some point, but currently it's free. And from my understanding, it would be something like the Linux Foundation. So where you have different tiers for companies or for private people. And right now we're in the grassroots environment. So gathering information, gathering experience from what we have seen so far. So somebody who's not happy with how Catalyst works might be finding a home there, right? Somebody who has great experience from Gimbal Labs might find a work there, right? Because there's some funding going on as well for builders, building government tools, etc. So I think that was a final word on stay active, be here, and endure. It's not about the price, it's about what we're trying to build here, what we're trying to achieve. And if the price goes along, we're happy.
Exactly. Thank you, Marcus.
All right, guys, all the best. Have a good evening. And
Thanks, folks.
Thanks for joining us. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.
You
Have a good
guys.
evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.